Good evening, welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, July 9th. Call the meeting to order at 6:31. First order of business is to review the Secretary's report from June 25th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 25th, 2024.
I'll second it, but I'd like to move to discussion, just a few minor things.
Okay, we have a second from Catherine, and now discussion.
Just a couple minor things, Joan, on this. I think under item 3, audience of citizens, Allison Sloan appeared and asked if approval had been given for a web developer for the EDC website.
Allison Sloan.
Yes, SLOANE. I'll give you these notes. And are we one, at the first audience of citizens, we've mentioned names, and I know some of these folks are probably new to you, but I've got, under the, when we get to item 12, I have names for the residents if you want them.
So this is a good thing for
Yeah,
us.
we haven't
Well,
used
so-
any- yeah, we haven't used any residents' names, we just Laurel or
Oh, I see,
Justin.
but there's, you want their address.
So I would say maybe
Well, let's
Allison
leave it.
Sloan, do you want to say EDC chair?
EDC chair, that's fine.
You want correction on item 12 to EDC chair,
That's item 3, the last one, we're going to say EDC chair.
Allison Sloan. Right. So I know what happened there, but I guess I will look at it.
And then we don't want to give names for others, just resident.
We thought that was easier,
Okay.
because sometimes meetings we have
That's
different
okay.
names, and then it's a little too complicated.
So I move that we accept the minutes with the noted addition.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me. Item number 4, audience of citizens. Number 3, anybody from the audience want to address the board?
Nothing at this time.
All right, number 4, town hall building issues. So we've been talking about our buildings and some of our problems. We did have the service clean come yesterday to go in the basement and look around. We don't still have anything in writing for any kind of monetary figure. We're still working on scope of work. So at this point, we could just kind of keep you informed as we learn, keep that out there. And the OSHA report has not come back yet. We are set to meet with her at her convenience. And we had something set up, I believe, for this week, but she's canceled that, so it'll be at some point coming up. We did talk about kind of doing a general maintenance of all our buildings. So we're doing a walkthrough assessment, coming up with some like spreadsheet, what needs at all the facilities, what's needed, coming up with a point person for those, coming up with scope of work for all those things too. So that's in the works. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, the library, as we reported, they had that door they suspected had asbestos-containing materials in the floor. And further analysis of those samples turned out to be negative, so we can dispose of the door as a regular disposal, which is, excuse me. And then we don't think we have to replace with a fire door, so that's going to save some money if we have to replace the door. Do you have anything, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm excited about the idea of working on the meetings plan.
Yes.
The meeting.
And we're going to hold to discuss all your experience. Work on that with us. Okay, so moving on to number 4, Region 4 school mold remediation. What do you think, Dwayne? Do you have anything to report besides?
As I reported 2 weeks ago, the bids came in, they were overbid, overpriced. So we revised the bid, and they were supposed to hit the street today on some revisions. We're doing some value engineering, moving some things around so the contractor will bid it versus the general contractor, which will save their profit on it. They're supposed to hit the street today. I know there's still some clerical issues, but the bid is due on July 23rd,
Okay.
the revised bids. And then we have a meeting on the 25th, and hopefully we can make an award at that time. It's a sealed bid process. We had 2 bids last time, and we're hoping possibly a couple more this time. the time schedule, and by the time the job starts, it'll be further along for the summer.
So once they award, when does the work start? Immediately?
They'll start, if we give them the contract on that Thursday night, they can start that Monday morning.
Great. And then what are we looking for to get the kids back in? I know it keeps getting pushed back, but
It's pushed back. I can't do a hard date, but it's into November. It'll apply in November. But again, I don't want to give a hard date. You know, there's some, we're trying to work around because there's some holidays and teacher development days in October that the school's closed, so it depends, you know, where we are in the process. But we're looking at every avenue and every possible time we can get guys in there working, guys and gals working to get the job done. On the field is set to grade. The football field is set to grade, ready for the turf. They've paved the track. They're finishing that up today. And hopefully they'll start laying the turf within the next week or so.
yeah, exciting. How long does that take to?
2 weeks if that. It doesn't take long to lay it. It's just like rolling out big grass and filling it with rubber tar. And then they've already started to strip the backfields for the second field out back, so they're moving along quite well with that.
That's great.
They want the main football field opened up before school starts, so.
So we'll be seeing all our Valley games
Yeah.
this year. That's
It's
great.
exciting.
Yeah.
I worked in that 15 years ago, and it didn't go anywhere, and I'm glad to see it come to fruition now.
That was great.
And the security project, I don't have any update on that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from our building inspector on that. I have Zoom on the camera tonight with the phone, so that's why I keep checking my phone, just for the public out there. I'm not ordering any food or anything. Well, thank you for that. Follow-up to drainage issue on Oak Ridge Drive. So yesterday, we met in an executive session to talk about the 4 bids that were received and just general what was going on up there. We came out of executive session hoping to award a contract. It was not done because turns out the homeowner, as well as our building official in Public Works and the Board of Selectmen, thought consulting with the engineer for a little more thorough to make sure we had all our bases covered. So that happened yesterday at 1 o'clock. Engineer was out at the property. So at this point, I don't know how that's going to impact the project. We imagine we're going to have to go back to those 4 contractors and tell them maybe the project has changed a little bit, but again, we don't know. So nothing really has moved forward, but we're going to wait now on this engineering report. So that's the update on that. Do you have anything, guys, from that meeting yesterday?
We'll go back and meet once we have the information and make a decision, so it's moving along.
Right. So then we have number 7, Poet Laureate for the town. So we talked as Board of Selectmen, and we got kind of excited about doing this, appointing somebody from the town of Deep River to serve as a Poet Laureate. Nationally, we have one. Other towns in Connecticut have one. International, you know, Britain has one and stuff. Basically, it's somebody that promotes poetry and storytelling and that art that is really a unique art. And we would love to have somebody in our town to sort of lead that wagon or parade or whatever. So we are going to talk in the next couple of weeks. We have somebody in mind that when we've talked to people about it, it's the first person that comes to mind, or the only person that comes to mind. So I think in a couple of weeks we'll be ready to announce who that is. So, do you guys have anything else to add about that? So I wrote up some things, but really just about Poet Laureates. And Middletown recently also appointed one, and so I used some of their stuff from their website, which is very handy. So I'm excited about that. Number 8, Transfer Station Advisory Committee. So last night, our newly formed Transfer Station Advisory Committee had their first meeting. Very enthusiastic group. Catherine and I were able to go. And again, the group was really excited. They're going to start meeting more regularly and try to accomplish a few of the things that we had laid out. One was the reconfiguration of the entrance. We gave them some tasks, set the fees for the transfer station, better signage up there. Some of the audience citizens asked for some speed limit signs. The new oil shed that has to be replaced, maybe a Carefree building, something like that. So again, they seem very eager. They want to start meeting the next Wednesday on Monday evenings to get up to speed. So, and they're looking for new members. We only have about, 5 people on that board, and we've given them, as the Board of Selectmen, a lot of tasks. So they asked us to bring it up tonight, and please ask people if you can spare some time. That's a great committee, new committee. So it's really evolving, and we'd love to have your energy. So send a letter to the Board of Selectmen, and we can appoint you. So.
Maybe we should just clarify a little just for the residents so they know when you say about the fees.
Oh, okay.
Because
Right.
clarify what the fees are for, not.
Oh, exactly. I'm sorry.
Not
So
the-
right, at a town meeting a couple weeks ago, we pulled the fees out of the ordinance. If you recall, our solid waste ordinance, section 10 of the ordinance, deeper ordinances, had all the fees listed. It had the price of tires, for example. So we were locked into charging that because it was in the ordinance. But the town now has to pay a lot more to dispose of those tires than what we were charging. So I think our ordinance said we were able to charge $3 per tire, and the town now, with prices have gone up, we're getting charged $5 a tire. Truck tires are up to $17. So it wasn't even breaking even for the town, which is what we need to do. We need to cover our costs. So those are the fees that I was talking about. We're just going to make sure we're in line with what we're getting charged now to dispose of these things that all the prices have gone up to recycle things. So otherwise, there's no other fees associated with the transfer station except what you're all used to paying already, which is going to make sure we're covering our costs. So thank you for
I just wanted just clarification because people may think we're going to start charging for everything.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing.
We
Trailer
align
fuel
the
flush, right, we charge for, all the things that already have been posted that we charge for. We're not changing any of that.
I would add, Carol, if you have a comment on getting people, I think one of the ongoing sports in town is giving input on what could be done at the transfer station. And this is a real opportunity for someone to get on it, or at least as it evolves, come to a meeting and share their ideas, because they are really serious about making positive changes. So it's a good opportunity. If you've got a pet peeve or a brilliant idea, bring it to the group.
Yeah, you're right, you're absolutely right. It does seem to be one of the many things, but most frequently talked about things is our transfer stations. But again, they're meeting on Monday night, 6:30, and then they're going to start meeting, is it the second Monday?
Second Monday.
So after the next 3 weeks, then they'll go to the second Monday of every month, 6:30. Okay, I'm not sure I covered that, yeah. All right, audience of citizens, second time around. What do you have, Mr. Joy?
Mike Joy, Will Seabrook Road. The Transfer Station Advisory Committee, you said there's 5 people on there right now? What's the charter or goal for membership, like 7, 9,
We didn't really set
26? You don't know?
it. I think we set it to be about 7 to 9 people.
7 to
So
9.
very general. It's an ad hoc committee of the Board of Selectmen. So you would be serving in an advisory role to the Board of Selectmen, and we're going to ask that chairperson or one of the representatives to come quarterly or more if needed to the Board of Selectmen and report back. Yeah. So if you're interested, we'd love to have your input.
Thank you. Things for the update on Region 4. I guess Region 4 will have to do some magic with JW students if the opening is not in September as initially planned months
They
ago.
have 3 plans
Okay.
that they're working on. A original start, a second one, and a third one. So there's 3 different alternatives that the administration up there is working on.
Okay.
They haven't really shared 100% with us. Our job is to get it clean and go.
Building set to go.
Right.
Town hall building issues, you mentioned that OSHA report's not out. Did you say next week? Potentially the OSHA inspector? Is that what I heard?
She's been calling my assistant Tina to try to set something up because she really wants to come, it sounds, maybe to get the most bang for her buck, to come on one day that she can get most people to be available. And now we're running into, some people are away on vacation or something like
Summer
that.
vacation. Okay.
So we keep trying to come up with the perfect day where she can hit all the departments. She'd like to go back out to Public Works, to Tri-Town, to the library, to here, so.
So there's a sort of debrief of her report. Is
Yes.
She has a report. We haven't seen a copy of it, correct?
We have
So
not.
she wants to do a in-face briefing of it, I guess?
That
Is that a fair
apparently
statement?
is how that works. They come with you with the report, and just to clarify everything in there. Otherwise, I would imagine if they sent a report, there might be some confusion of what was meant or something like that, so.
Do we have an opportunity to what? Any her findings in her report at this time, or at that time when she meets with us, or we're not sure?
I'm not 100% sure how it works. I believe you can respond to all her findings in writing or appeal a finding if there's a reason. I think then you're given a limited amount of time to correct, and then you can also appeal or ask for an extended amount of time if for some reason we can't work on that time schedule. Right?
Then what steps appropriate, each rod needs to be replaced? Well, we're doing that right now, stop on it, so maybe, like I said.
Right, or if you have a contractor lined up but he can't get here for a couple months or something, then at least you're
It's
moving.
identify to have it, please change it from smacking around to this is fine. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I have, thank you.
thank you. I don't think there's anyone on here. Aaron, do you have any question?
Yeah, I was thinking this, I'm glad you brought up the transfer station advisory committee, because that's actually part of the reason why I was here. I didn't know if there was any wider discussion on it, but I was just curious, does Lenore Bronco sit on that committee?
Oh, yes, she actually was just elected chair last night.
I figured so. Yeah, okay, thanks. Just wanted to make sure, wanted to know.
Yeah, no, they're a very enthused bunch and really willing to make changes up there.
Has that gathered over the past year and a half? Has it been, talking with her, just her, or anyone else?
Ron Larson was voted vice chair, and Kathy David, recording secretary.
All right, anything else?
Should have an update on the paving. Got a couple roads paved already, Milton
We
paved.
have, and I don't have all the roads, so I'm sorry. So Union Street from Chester to Spring Street was done. Bushy Hill was done between a couple addresses though, and I don't have this house to that house kind of thing, a stretch. And now they were working, I believe, on Meadowwoods yesterday. So they are going down that list from that RFP that went out that had several properties on there, example. I don't remember all the street names, but. So it's getting down now that we finally have some weather, even though it's really hot, at least it's not raining, so they're able to do it. Yeah. And then I believe, once they get the paving done, then the town crew can go out with the paving box and get some of the curbing done. I mean, the curbing box and get some of the paving, curbs done, so. Hopefully at most two.
Good.
I haven't had curbs in about 9 years. They got ripped out a few selectments ago and then they put back. All right, anything else? Did I forget anything with the paving?
Do we want to set a date to work on some of the building plans? So we'll keep that loose moving.
Dwayne, did you have a,
I'll shoot some an email after when my box is
you haven't
ready.
had a chance to read it?
Not
so-
now, when we lose.
Yes, we'll send it, yeah.
Right.
So, all right, can I take a motion to adjourn? Or have a motion?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, everyone.